Hello my dear friend, this is Phil again, and very welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you my commando build, which is a Bloodied Commando build. I'm going to show you every single aspect of this build to provide you as much insight as I can. So currently Bloodied Commando build is the most meta build inside the game, not just in terms of damage, but also in terms of all the benefits it brings you. Now before we get into the details, let me show you how do I use the commando build in my normal daily play, so you can have a roughly idea whether you like this kind of style or not. So I come to my favorite hunting spot, the wasteland. I'm playing the game right now in the sneak mode. Everything is quick and silent. And you can see it's very efficient on killing mutants. But actually this is not my favorite playing style with my commando. I prefer to fight them face to face, to gun them down like a moaning machine. With the red gear, a Bloodied Commando can be tanky as hell. A lot of people complaining that Bloodied build is not suitable for them because it's too easy to get killed in the field. But as I'm showing you, it's not the case at all. I can play the game just as a full health build would do, while enjoying the boosted damage and all the other benefits the Bloodied build can bring to us, as I showed in my previous video on the Bloodied build tutorial. I'm stronger, I'm faster, smarter, and more efficient when I'm doing the Bloodied build. Okay, that just gives you a quick flavor of how powerful and flexible a Bloodied Commando build can be. Now let me show you how you can build it by yourself. Okay, let me start with the mutation first. Adrenal reaction, that's a mutation a Bloodied build must have to boost your weapon damage. Bird bones, so basically reduce your falling damage. Because we are Bloodied build, our health is normally very low. A drop from a high cliff can kill us easily. So I would recommend to have this mutation with you. Also it increases agility, and higher agility means more AP to spend. Chameleon, you don't really need it. Eagle Eyes, definitely needed for any range build, especially it provides 25% critical damage, as I'm going to show you later. To maximize the damage output, my build is doing critical shots every other shot, and Eagle Eyes is definitely helping me to increase the critical damage. Then Egghead for more intelligence, that means level up much quicker. I really enjoy it. Empath, well, it's not something essential. It actually increases your damage resistance when you are in a team. But actually, as long as one of your teammates has it, you will benefit from it. Grounded, which gives you more energy resistance at the cost of less energy damage. And there's no good energy weapon for commandos. So that's a good mutation to have. Herbivore, that's another highly recommended mutation to have for a commando build, for two main reasons. The first one is the company T, which gives you significant boosts on your AP regen. I did a video earlier to show you how to do your full AP regen in 1 second, and Herbivore is one of the must-have conditions. And another thing is the Bright Soup, which increases 50% critical damage. Again, that actually stack with the Eagle Eyes critical damage boost. In total, it will give you 75% critical damage boost. That's amazingly good for commandos. And of course, Marsupial gives you the super jump ability. Everyone loves it. Plague Walker is actually a wrong mutation. I would suggest to not take it. I had it because I was doing a test, and it turned out Plague Walker will tell the mobs your location when you are closing to them. So definitely don't take the Plague Walker if you are commando build or you are sneaky build. Scaly Skin, definitely get more damage resistance. Speed Demon, increase your moving speed and reload speed. Why not? Okay, that's everything for mutation. And now let's talk about the perks. So for every single type of build, the perk deck is the core of your build. Let me show you my sneaky Bloodied Commando first. I only have 3 pounds on strength, and they are mainly for weight management, because I'm using a few different rifles, and the weight of the ammo is always a problem, as well as my stim pack and other cams. That's why I use Bundler and Travel Pharmacy. They are purely for quality of life. Bandolier reduces 90% of my ammo's weight for all the ballistic weapons. And of course, you can use blocker to increase your survivability in the wasteland. A 2-star blocker can reduce 30% of the physical damage you received from the mobs already. That's a significant reduce in terms of damage. It's particularly useful when you're fighting something which might be able to detect your positions. For example, the rat scorpions or the mole rats. So as long as they can dig into the ground, they will be able to spot you right away. It doesn't matter how sneaky you are. I have 14 perception. Some people would argue you need to have 15 perceptions, but really I think 14 is good for me already. I can put all my necessary perks in. So I use all the commando perks. Level 1 concentrated fire, and level 3 time killer. This is a must have if you are doing a rifle build. Ignore 36% of your enemy armor. It works very well on the tough enemies and the bosses. I mean, in this game, with any build, you can take care of the trash mob in a couple of shots. The only thing you need to worry about is the tougher enemy and the bosses, and Tank Killer is one of the best perks you should use. I also use Ground Pounder. It increases the reload speed. That is a significant boost, especially when you are not using a quad rifle. Reloading is the main factor that reduces your DPS output. As you can see, I only have a level 1 Expert Commando here, but even with a level 3 Expert Commando card, it only gave me 10% extra base weapon damage comparing with the level 1 Expert Commando perk. So I'm not really missed a lot. All the other perks actually give me much more benefits than a 3-star Expert Commando. As you can see, I can easily swap out the Ground Pounder and put a level 3 Expert Commando in. But in terms of DPS, trust me, the Ground Pounder is much more efficient than the level 3 Expert Commandos. And the smaller your rifle magazine is, the bigger the benefit that the Ground Pounder can bring to you. I have only 3 points in endurance. The only goal is to equip the Fireproof, one of the best defensive perks. As I showed in my previous video, it makes you immune to fire and explosive damage. It can save your ass in various situations. You have to understand the Scotch Beast's sonic attack is counted as a type of explosion damage. And with this perk, you don't need to worry about her sonic attack at all. I have 4 in Charisma. The reason is I need to have stringent numbers, which takes 1 point of Charisma, to boost all your mutation positive effects by 25% when you are in a team. Any team, or either it's private team or public team, it will just work. And with all the mutations we take, this could be the best money for value perk in the whole deck. And I also need another 3 points in Charisma to equip Tenderizer. It's actually put a debuff on your mob when you hit them and increase the damage you take in. And currently in the game, if everyone equips this perk, the debuff will stack on the mobs up to 40%. That means the mob is going to take 40% extra damage on top of everything. It's multiplicative, so it's a big boost for everyone's DPS. And when you are not seeking for DPS output, you can always swap Tenderizer with their inspirational perk to boost the XP you gain when you are in a team. I have 5 points in intelligence. The reason is I need to have Nerd Rage. As I introduced in my previous video, the 3 factors that make blood builds so powerful in terms of damage is the adrenal reaction mutation, the bloodied legendary effect on your weapon, and the Nerd Rage perk. It alone gives you 20% of your base weapon damage, as well as 15% AP regen speed. And the reason I have 5 intelligence is so I can use Gunsmith's level 5 to craft and mold weapons if I need it. And I can also use this battery included perk to reduce again my ammo weight And this is mainly for the fusion cores, because I actually run the commando build in two modes, sneaky mode as well as the gun blazing mode. So I always carry a few fusion cores. And the 2-star battery included perk reduces 60% of the fusion core's weight. So again, it's another quality of life perk. And under agility, I have 14 points because this deck is for sneaky commandos. So I have level 3 sneaks, which makes me 75% harder to be detected. I have Mr. Sandman, which is mainly used during the evening to give me extra 50% sneak attack damage. It works perfectly with the covert operative perk, and two of them make my sneak attack 3 times better than normal attacks. And Escape Artist is another perk you should use if you do sneaky, and it only occupies 1 point under agility. For me, it's more important than the sneak perk. It can make me go back to sneak very easily when I was spotted. What I normally do is just stand up for a second and crouch down. That's gonna bring me from danger to cautious. And if you want to maximize your damage output, you can swap gunful with the sneak. As a bloodied build, we have very high agility already, and that's gonna make us a professional sneaker. We don't really need the sneak perk. A gunful is mainly used in Vats. When we killed one mob in Vats, gunful can swap our target automatically and give a percentage bonus on top when we hit the second mob, and then even higher damage boosts to the second and the third. It's capped at 30% base damage. So if you're a Vats user, gunful is definitely something good for you. If you don't want the system to automatically swap your target in Vats, you can use action go instead of gunful to give yourself a much quicker AP regen. It's particularly useful during the boss fight when you use your Vats constantly and your AP runs dry easily. Another important perk to boost your damage is Adrenaline. Each kill it gives you 10% damage boost, and it's capped at 60% of base damage. So the more you kill, the higher your damage output is. That's why you would like to kill the summons when you fight the bosses. That's why I always give the priority to kill the Wendigo spawn when I fight eels. And the damage boost from this card is significant. And I have 15 points on luck. The strategy is a must-have to keep all my mutations. Critical survey is a card I must have, because as a bloodied build, we can have over 33 luck very easily. And 33 points of luck plus the critical survey can give us the power to do critical every other shot. That's a significant boost of damage output, and it works perfectly with better criticals to maximize the critical damage. And Blood Mass also give you 15% base damage of your weapon. Class 3 can minimize the negative effects of your mutations, and it's very important to have considering all the mutations we took. It's another money for value perk. And Serendipity, another perk a blooded build must have. When your health is below 30, Serendipity can give you 40% chance to avoid the incoming damage. But if you are not worried about your survivability because you always sneak around, you don't worry about to be hit when mob is doing the blind firing, you can equip the Grim Reaper Sprint. That gives you 35% chance every time you kill a mob in Vats to restore all your action points. This is very useful when you do the boss fight. With enough AP, you can keep on shooting and shooting without any stop. Or you can use Tormentor to actually cripple your enemies. This is very useful when you're fighting the Scorch Beast and Scorch Beast Queens. By aiming their wings in Vats with the Tormentor, you can land the Scorch Beast Queen so often. Or there's another choice you can do, which is Ricochet. It gives you 18% of chance to deflect the incoming damage, which means 18% of chance you will not take any damage when someone's hitting you. It's much less than the Serendipity. But if you're using the vampire weapon, the vampire effects of your weapon gonna stack with Ricochet. Every single bullet you deflected back to the enemy gonna drain health to you. That significantly boosts your survivability in the wasteland as well. So that will be personal preference, whether you want to use Ricochet or you prefer Serendipity. I also play my commando builds as a gun blazer. So fight the enemy face to face without sneaking, because sneaking makes you slow. And a non-sneaky commando need a slightly different perk deck. So for the strengths, it's all the same. For perception and endurance and charisma, they are all the same. Under intelligence, there's some changes. I use the level 1 demolition expert because I'm using a railway rifle with explosion legendary effect. With 1 star, I get 20% base damage boost. The base damage for the railway rifle is very high. It's actually 95 for a level 50 railway rifle, and 20% boost is almost 20 points of damage. And also I run gunsmith level 4 to reduce the condition drain of the explosion effect. And of course, if I carry too many fusing cores, I can always swap that with the battery included perk. And ideally, I can equip a level 2 gunsmith as well. I just don't have it here. I don't think it really makes any difference because I'm kind of lazy player. I tend to make my life a bit easier in the game rather than go for a min-max build or want to maximize everything to get some damage boost and AP regen. But as I showed you in the beginning of the video, the railway rifle is so powerful. I don't really need the damage boost from the nerd rage. I prefer to run the build with a bit more health, over 20%, to make sure I survive first. But the main reason is I'm running Bone Survivors. I would suggest anybody who's as lazy as I am to run the Bone Survivor perk if you are not doing the sneaky build. It makes your life so much easier. It will apply the stim pack to yourself when your health is lower than 20%. And that means you do not want to run with the health lower than 20%. Otherwise, Bone Survivor gonna apply a stim pack to you every 20 seconds. You're gonna run out of stim pack in no time. It doesn't make any sense. And I use a level 1 through hiker mainly to fill the gap and to reduce some weight on my food and drinks. And with marathon, I can run a bit further. And under lock, I only use serendipity when I'm not in power armor. If I decide to jump in the power armor because I think the situation is going to be a bit of tense, that I need extra defense from the power armor, I will swap the serendipity with other perk. As I just mentioned, I do have vampire rifles, but when I don't use vampire rifle, I put down the better criticals to maximize the damage output. And that's all for my perk. And now let's quickly go through my legendary perks. I have electric absorption, which is mainly to play in the gun blazing mode by jumping on the power armor. It's very useful when you do daily ops. Actually, with this perk on, I never ever run out of fusing core anymore. The fusing core only is getting more and more in my inventory. I have to dump them from time to time. And follow through is the main legendary perk to boost your damage for sneaky build. I would maximize it as soon as I can. It actually increases damage to targets by 20% for 10 seconds if you do ranged sneak attack with the 2 star. If it's 4 star, it's going to be 40% for 10 seconds. So it's a great legendary perk to have for sneaky build. This commando build just happened to be my ammo smith. So I have this ammo factory maximized to produce more ammos. And I have this funky dots for additional 50 poison damage resistance. And it's good enough with 1 star. It's very useful when we fight the Murloc Queens and the Murloc Kings, as well as the Scott Beast, because they do drop the poison from the buff. And then I use legendary strength and legendary luck. And to be frank, you probably don't need the legendary luck at all. You should be able to get luck 33 without any legendary luck, but use the right under armor with the right lining. I was doing the critical per other shot test, which you can see in one of my previous videos. I was trying to increase the luck as much as I can to see if I can do critical even more often. The result is not. That's why I have this legendary perk here. I already upgraded once, so I don't think I should waste it. You can totally use a different legendary special perk here. For example, perception or agility. It's really up to you. So after the mutation and the perks, let's talk about gears. First of all, the weapons. This quad railway rifle is one of my favorites. When I do gun blazing without any sneak, it has 40 bullets in one single magazine, and each bullet gives you over 200 damage. I use automatic receivers, long barrel, recoil compensating stocks, and standard sights. All of these modes is mainly for AP cost reduction, so I can keep on shooting as many bullets as I can before I run out of AP. And when I was doing stealth mode, I used this quad fixer, and this quad fixer has 8 hate bullets in one single mag. So basically I can keep on shooting without worrying about reloading at all. And each of the shots give me roughly 100 damage. And I use powerful automatic receivers, aligned long barrel, forceful stock, perforating magazine, reflex sight, suppressor. And again, all of these modes can reduce my AP cost per shot. With all of these modes on, I can reduce my AP cost per shot over 70%. It's about 73% AP cost reduction. And the capability of keep on shooting the boss fight definitely give us the best DPS in the current game. Even better than Bloodied Fixer or Anti-Armor Fixer. And of course, as a commander, you can use many different rifles. Fixer apparently is the best one if you want to do sneaking, and the railway rifle for me is the best one to use outside sneak. So that's about my weapon. Regarding the gears, I have a full set of ultra light Secret Service armor. They are all unyielding, but man, the point is the unyielding prime legendary effect on these armors. And if you can have 5 pieces of unyielding armor, that's good enough to get you started. Your build is already overpowered in the game. To get a full set of Secret Service armor, you're gonna do a lot of grinding, and the best thing they can do is provide you better protections, but it's really not necessary for a stealth commander build. The only thing you want on your armor is the AP refreshing 2nd star legendary effect, as well as the Sanitile or the Cavalier effect for the 3rd star, which give you a 75% chance to reduce damage by 15% while stand still or while sprinting. That's the guard roll for unyielding armor. When I'm out of sneak, I can choose to put my power armor on. I use excavator power armor. It doesn't give me the best protection in terms of resistance, but it gives me 100 carrying weight. And with the calibrated modes on both legs, I can get 200 carry weight in total. That's insanely good if you're really keen on collecting things inside the game. One thing I want to point here is a lot of people saying, why don't you go for T51 or T65? They have much better resistance against ballistic damage and energy damage. But look, a full set of power armor will give you 42% damage reduction itself, even without any physical or energy resistance. That is the main purpose I want to use my power armor. I can achieve even higher damage resistance outside the power armor, but this 42% damage reduction is the perk you really want from the power armor. And all the resistances the power armor provides is just a layer of sugar on top of a cake. I can live happily without them at all. Okay, that's everything I want to tell you about the Bloodied Commando build in this video clip. It's already a very long video clip, and apparently there's a lot of other things I didn't actually cover in this bit. For example, there are a lot of great auto rifles you can use as a commando build for both stealth modes and out of stealth. And where are you going to get them? What's the best legendary effect you can have on them? And in what kind of circumstances I prefer to use what sort of weapons? All the best modes for them, how do you get them? And I also have a full arena of different auto rifles. They are great auto rifles for commandos to use. And apparently, if you want to maximize your damage output, there are a lot of other things which can temporarily boost your damage. This is particularly useful when you want to do the boss fight. I'll try to do some videos about them gradually and share that with all of you. But that's all for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give me a thumb up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and share my channel with your friends. And that will be the best support you gave me. But until next time, Billigans out.